this is live. Cool. Double live or okay, that's how it works. That's cool. I like in both of his channels. Okay. Oh, this was the playlist. We chillin', we pimp chimpin'. Pimpin'. Oh. Oh no. Okay, I think we're back. I fixed it. Vanishing. On. Gone. Need to find them. Oh, strange. My mouth isn't even. I think I do. It's bugging out. Oh, that's cool. Didn't want to watch some. Didn't want to watch this. Just
Sonic Project 06 is doing the unthinkable, taking one of the most infamous video games of all time and transforming it into one of the best 3D platforming experiences out there. The road here wasn't a short one though, as lead developer Chaos X has diligently studied the entire series, taking many of the elements that worked in the other games and either improving, remixing, or expanding them here. The beauty of it is how masterfully each of those ideas have been cohesively spun together, making the game much greater than the sum of its parts. So, let's take a dive and talk about many of the things that make this passion project so special. Here are 100 facts about Sonic Project 06 you may or may not have known. If you master every stage in Sonic's story, a secret item spawns in Kingdom Valley. Once you find and equip it, you can transform into Super Sonic. When Rouge does her aerial bomb attack, she will throw a bat cracker mine, an unused item from the original game. It's similar to a regular bomb, but has a cooler model. Pressing a certain button combination on the disclaimer screen will enable debug mode. With it, you can turn on the cinematic camera from Retail 06's trailers, as well as enable or disable the HUD elements. To be more in line with the story, Silver's Crisis City takes place at nighttime, and it looks freaking sick, oh my god. Looking up in the more nocturnal stages in the game will reveal that not all was fixed from past adventures. The moon is still blown in half. One of Sonic's idle animations comes from the 2005 Tokyo Game Show demo of the original game, where he quickly taps his foot on the ground. When you beat a personal record on a stage, a red star will appear beside it on the results screen. While playing as Sonic and the Princess, if he attacks while the shield is out, his aura color changes to be the same as that shield.
In an earlier version of the game, you could find a hidden Easter Island head at each of Sonic's stages. Some of them had interesting effects when approached.
In the game room found through the extras menu, you are able to change the spin effect of the characters between Sonic Adventure 2, and the updated 06 one. Tails' tail swipe attack has a special property. Holding down the button allows for continuous tail swipes. Yes, he learned a thing or two from Sonic Adventure. The shield item that was unused but appeared in the original game's manual has been fully re-implemented, working just like previous 3D outings. The main menu's game room also features a toggle between camera types. Enjoy P06 with the retail cam or E3 demo inspired cam, or use the TGS cam, you psychopath. All 7 of Sonic's gems from the original game make a return here, hidden in the stages across his campaign. Find them and wield their more refined abilities. The test stage is accessible from the main menu. Hop in to try out your favorite characters in a hassle-free environment. Knuckles is now able to end his ground combo with different finishers. The dash punch from Sonic Adventure, the Crimson Uppercut inspired by Sonic Adventure 2, and the Stone Breaker from Retail 06. Blaze's unused Crow attack from the original game is re-implemented in her moveset here. It's speculated that Crow is a mistranslation of Claw. I mean, she is a cat.
Inspired by one of the original game's cutscenes, Omega now has a Gatling gun mode, where his arms turn into machine guns that he uses to wipe out the opposition.
All of the characters' unused idle dialogue has been added. If you get the chance, slow down in a level to hear what they think.
Phew, it sure is hot here. Better get going. Iblis. Mephiles. What's going on?
In the outskirts of Dusty Desert, you can see that the sand actually sparkles. Back in the test stage, there is a special warp mirror that takes you to Silver's Crisis City. From the E3 2006 demo, this is also the only time in the game where Eggman's mechs appear in the future. All 4 of the drivable vehicles are now marked with the symbol for Project Shadow. Silver's B button action, the Psychic Shot, is new for P06 and is based off of his first encounter with Sonic in the story. The Sonic P06 mod loader was developed by Beats, Hyper, and Chaos X. It allows for custom stages, custom characters, and full mod support. Head over to the P06 Workshop server to try some out for yourself. In the options, you can change the background of the
Hey, there's a mod loader? Hey.
Chaos X. It allows for custom stages, custom characters, and full mod support. Head over to the P06 Workshop server to try some out for yourself. In the options, you can change the background of the main menu screen to your favorite stage. Flame Core is clearly the best though. Shadow's Chaos Boost gets more intense with each level up. Level 1 of course has the aura, level 2 adds lightning effects, and level 3 amplifies those effects to a larger degree. Oh, he's pissed.
The Sigil of Awakening is based off of the mandala, the Greek symbol for balance. This represents the newfound peace Silver finds within himself at the end of his journey and awakens his true potential in the form of ESP mode.
ESP mode allows Silver to decimate his campaign. With a huge blast of psychic energy, more efficient moves, and near invincibility, nothing stands in the way between him and the flames of disaster. In the very first demo of the
They
game,
gave him better abilities. They gave him better abilities. They gave him better abilities.
with a huge blast of psychic energy, more efficient moves, and near invincibility, nothing stands in the way between him and the flames of disaster. In the very first demo of the game, you could alter the code to spawn the unfinished characters before their initial release. This even includes a playable, but ultimately scrapped, Metal Sonic. Sonic now runs out of the door in Kingdom Valley's Mach Speed section, rather than awkwardly landing in front of it. With the help of longtime 3D animator Sonic Pox, he and Chaos created incredible cutscenes for the debut of the Silver release, both in the trailer and in-game. Sonic's voice line when you collect an extra life may sound a bit different from the rest.
Yes!
That's because it's a quote from Sonic and the Black Knight. Sonic doesn't just have an idle animation from the 2005 Tokyo Game Show demo, he is also able to sport all of the build's animations from an option in the extras menu. Omega's voice lines were given extra effects to make him sound more in line with previous entries, but not take away from the original performance by the late Matty Blaustein. All three of Silver's upgrades, the Lotus of Resilience, the Flame of Control, and the aforementioned Sigil of Awakening, follow the naming conventions of the Heart of Wind, his teleport dash upgrade in the original game.
All of Silver's ESP marks face towards the object they activate.
Shadow is able to perform the spin dash now. I know, that's something that had to be added into the game. White Acropolis has gotten several updates to make it really feel like the ice level of the game. Some of those include frost breath on the characters and new ice cap textures on the ground. Taking a look at the Morning flickering sky in Blaze's Wave Ocean reveals that the stars actually fade in and out. Who would have noticed? Me. It was me. To coincide with Blaze's Wave Ocean taking place at sunrise, Silver's Tropical Jungle does as well. And man, it's pretty. Sonic & Shadow's jump dash is now customizable. The first type, straight, works just like the original game, where the hedgehogs travel forward a set distance and lose their speed at the end. The second type, curved, works like the 2006 E3 demo, where the character will travel forward in a downward arc. The final type, legacy, works just like 2005 Shadow the Hedgehog, where the direction is influenced based on the player's current predicament. You go up, it goes up. You go down, it goes down. Side note, this is the best one for speedrunning. There is an unused animation called Select from the original game, which Chaos appropriately added back in when selecting a character's story.
Silver's Psycho Knife move he gains by collecting the Flame of Control is inspired by one of his attacks from his boss fight in Sonic Generations. Awesome little reference.
Blaze is able to perform a triple jump. Do an accelerator tornado, activate the spinning claw, then cancel it with another accelerator tornado. And voila, you're a speedrunner now. In the final build of the Shadow release, it was possible to skip every character switch in Sonic stages, except for Tails Wave Ocean, obviously. Chaos added an option for new gem shoes, which keeps Sonic's classic design intact when using those abilities. If you enter a Mach Speed section as Super Sonic, you are able to play it as him. You only get one chance though, so be prepared. The music track playing during the credits is called New Future. It is an original composition by Chaos X himself. Rouge and Knuckles are only allowed to climb terrain that is tagged as climbable in the game, meaning that if you go into a stage that shares sections with one of theirs, you can actually climb those walls using a character switcher. Mastering Shadow's story will unlock a new pathway in his dusty desert. Get to the end and grab the brand new Memory Shard Light. This item unlocks Shadow's Uninhibited mode, a fourth level to his Chaos boost. When flying upwards with Tails, he has a new animation showing the effort he is putting in.
In Shadow's Kingdom Valley, you just might be able to spot Chaos lurking in the waters of this canal. It's kinda creepy.
If you know your soundtracks, you can notice the P06 main menu theme is actually Sonic 06's main menu and multiplayer tracks strung together. Fits pretty well. When getting close to a key, Rouge gets an exclamation point above her head, just like in Sonic Adventure 2. Looking in the top left of the game window will show the title, Sonic the Hedgehog, Knights of Kronos. Knights of Kronos was the 100% achievement name in Sonic 06. Maybe a new subtitle for the game? There is an option to toggle the E3 and Xbox Live Arcade demos music into the game, which changes the tracks for Kingdom Valley, Crisis City, the 1-Up jingle, and the results screen. When Sonic is on the snowboard, there were unused animations for when he went off of the ramps. As expected, they have been added back in here. Equipping the yellow gem with the shield active will cause the shield to go away. No Sonic 4 power stacking here. To be more in line with his color scheme, Shadow has had his jump aura changed from the yellow we see in Sonic Adventure 2 to red. If you hold Amy's spinning hammer attack long enough, she will get dizzy, just like in Sonic Adventure.
Originally, Project 06 used textures from the base game. However, when I created new ones as a test, Chaos liked it, so I replaced the textures across the whole project. From remaking diffuse maps to adding normal maps, things such as transparency leaves in Wave Ocean, as well as rough surfaces like mountains. The entire game's textures were remade.
You can level up Sonic's gems by defeating enemies, up to level 3. Some gems gain new abilities at max level, such as the blue gem gaining a boost-like property, defeating enemies during the dash, the purple gem allowing Sonic to go invisible and jump 3 additional times, the white gem ricocheting targets, making quick work of larger enemy formations, and the rainbow gem granting Super Sonic the Arrow of Light, taken from the Solaris boss fight. A few of the earlier demos of P06 didn't properly consider Sonic's vertical speed when in Mach Speed sections. Because of that, you could launch off the roofs in Wave Ocean, going so high you could touch the egg carrier. Talk about a quick way to end the story. Each character's story has different styles for the HUD, representing their respective hedgehogs. Both Shadows and Silver styles were in the original game, but didn't load properly. If you search around on the test stage, you can find Shadow's car from Team Sonic Racing, with a few extra bells and whistles too.
If you lose all your lives, you're met with a chilling game over screen set to a watery backdrop while a snippet of Mephiles' theme plays in the background, to really hammer it in that their blood is on your hands. You killed Sonic.
Rouge has regained her martial arts from Sonic Adventure 2. Her and Knuckles even share a stun move when landing on the ground from a drill drive. When the characters are close to an object like an enemy or item box, they will turn their head like Sonic Adventure. Shadow's White Acropolis is the only stage where you transition sections through a portal, and one of the 2 stages where there is no goal ring, the other being Silver's Kingdom Valley. In the first and second demo of the game, there was a not-so-subtle secret hidden in Wave Ocean. Look at that face. When transforming into uninhibited mode, you can actually see Shadow's inhibitor rings land on the ground. Amy's hammer jump move was altered from Sonic Adventure to move much more horizontally. This was done to complement her double jump, rather than overshadow it. Again in the game room, seriously, there are so many options in here. You can customize the UI. From the HUD display to the loading screens, there are so many ways to make P06 your own. E3 Crisis City isn't the only secret stage. If you look hard enough, you can also find a portal to the Xbox Live Arcade version of Sonic's Kingdom Valley.
In the transition from the Shadow release to the Silver release, Chaos teamed up with Sonic Pox to do a lot of new animations. One of the most interesting ones was how Shadow's run cycle was completely overhauled. In the Shadow release, it looked more like the retail running animation, and now it's redone to resemble how Shadow animates in the newer games, and it looks fantastic.
There is an option to disable the camera volumes, which are special events and levels that cause the camera to do a specific shot, usually a cinematic one. Turn them off to see the game from a new perspective. Aquatic Base has a very unique property when visited by Shadow and Silver. It's hard to tell, but when put side by side, Shadow's version has a purple hue, while Silver's has an orange hue, representing their villains respectively. If you want a challenge, it is possible, but very hard to skip Shadow's hang glider entirely in Wave Ocean. Give it a shot, and let me know in the comments how you did. The Charge Chaos Spear can destroy the searchlights in Shadow's White Acropolis, allowing you to complete the mission without the buggy. If you're really feeling overkill, a Chaos Blast can do it too. In the second demo of P06, there was actually a hidden spring at the end of Sonic's Kingdom Valley. This would send you to the Mach Speed section without having to watch the Silver cutscene. Omega's new melee attack is inspired by his combo from Sonic Heroes, with the finisher also using elements from the Shotgun Blast move he had in 06. The pole swing animation for the Ultimate Life Form has a neat little reference to some of his official artwork from Sonic Adventure 2. If you do Sonic or Shadow's air action, you are able to perform a second jump dash. Try this move with all the jump dash types to see what kind of combos you can come up with.
When Supersonic reaches max speed, a blue aura envelops him like it did in Sonic Adventure. One could even say he looks like a bolt of lightning.
When you reach maximum speed, you'll turn into a bolt of lightning. That's your chance to attack Chaos.
As if there weren't enough secrets in the test stage, there is a hidden portal that takes you to a new section, where you can do a small treasure hunting minigame with Knuckles. If you don't like Sonic's or Silver's bling on their wrist, feel free to turn those upgrade models off in the extras menu. When performing an action over the shoulder, there is a new target reticle to help with your aiming. When Shadow is communicating with Rouge in some of his stages, you can actually hear a radio transmission sound effect added to the dialogue. Sonic's snowboard movement is a lot less stiff than in the original game, which allows you to spin him around in the air and go down slopes backwards. Look at that swag.
Amy has a new idle animation by Sonic Pox, which shows her looking at her tarot cards.
Shadow and Blaze's Wave Ocean stages have had new level design added to them. The design philosophy is great, with many alternate routes and shortcuts, especially in Blaze's case. In addition to the ground tailspin, Tails can also now spin in the air, allowing him to get a small boost off of enemies during his flight.
In the first build of the Silver release, Sonic's Blue Gem could be used on cages that hold springs to take off to the skies like a rocket. Look at him go, you didn't even need to kick a rock for that.
The Silver release went live on April 19th, 2023, which is exactly 4 years to the day from the launch of P06's first demo on April 19th, 2019.
Each section of the test stage features level design from Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic 06, and from an old veteran fan game, Blitz Sonic. One cool thing to note about the Blitz Sonic one is that it has accompanied me since my early days as a fan game developer, and I've used it in many of my projects over the years.
And that was 101 facts about Sonic Project 06. I want to give a huge shout out to all of the folks in this video. Being able to collaborate with everyone here is a dream come true, and I want to give special mention to two in particular. Firstly, huge thanks to Jay's Reviews. Without them, several of the people in this video wouldn't have been in it. His enthusiasm to help me has shifted my perspective a lot on what it means to be a creator in this space, so thank you, Jay. I couldn't have done it without you, literally. I also want to give thanks to Chaos X, not only for making an amazing video game worth creating daily videos about, but also for his help specifically with fact-checking my list, as well as creating the outstanding render used for the thumbnail of this video.
that's
Hope
clean.
your intro was badass enough for you, bud. I also want to thank all of you for reaching the end of this video. It was incredibly fun to make, and I want to know your thoughts and things you noticed while playing PO6 in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.
Someone speedrun this.
Here we go! Sonic Project 06, Sonic's any percent in 3, 2, 1. Let's go! So the rule set for Sonic's any percent in Project 06 is we have to go through all 10 stages in Sonic's campaign. Doesn't matter what order, but I'm going to be going through them in the story order. And we have to complete them as fast as possible by any means necessary, and by any means we shall. So Sonic controls in Project 06 very similarly to how he controls in Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic Adventure 2, but we have the advantage of having all the abilities that the original 06 introduced in a much better fashion here, especially those abilities that it had called the gems. So we are going to be using a lot of the gems throughout this run. We're not going to be seeing every single one, but we're going to be seeing most of them. And the top 3 are absolutely the blue gem, the purple gem, and the rainbow gem. The blue gem gives us a short burst of speed, the purple gem gives us extra jumps, and the rainbow gem allows us to transform into Supersonic, unused from the original game. You could actually hack in the rainbow gem in the original game, and you could see Sonic do that transformation sequence, but he wouldn't actually transform, and it wouldn't actually do anything. So really cool to see the Project 06 team fully implement the rainbow gem here and allow us to use Supersonic. The reason we transform into Supersonic at the very end is because Supersonic is much faster than regular Sonic in Mach speed sections, but regular Sonic is much faster than Supersonic in majority of the regular sections of the game. And the reason for that is once you transform into Supersonic, you are no longer able to switch to any of the other gems. However, not only is Supersonic naturally faster in Mach speed sections, we can't use the other gems in these sections anyway, so we might as well transform into them. Rings are very plentiful in Sonic's story, so we don't have to worry about not having enough rings to transform. Well, assuming I don't get hit, which could happen later in the run, but you know, that's just kind of how it is when I'm playing this game here. But regardless, I want to talk a little bit more about the gems as we finish up this Mach speed section here. Each gem can be leveled up to 3 times. You start at level 1 and can go to level 3, obviously. When you defeat enemies in this game, they drop things called energy cores. Some are blue, some are yellow. It doesn't matter. They both do the same thing. And it takes 3 energy cores in order to level up the gem to the next level. Some enemies drop just 1 energy core, like those E-Gunners there. Or I think those are the... No, I think they're the E-Gunners. I don't know. I'm sure someone who knows the names of the enemies more than me will probably be able to correct me on that. But those guys tend to drop 1 energy core, whereas the bigger enemies tend to drop more, and we're going to be taking advantage of that in our routing throughout the rest of the game. Because leveling up the gem allows us to have access to more abilities, especially with the purple gem, because we can jump up to 3 times at max level with that thing. Regardless, we are going into the 3rd of 4 different gameplay styles that Sonic the Hedgehog has here. Can you tell he's the main character? With Sonic carrying Princess Elise. So this gameplay style, Sonic can do the jump dash, the light dash, which of course returns from Sonic Adventure 2. You saw me do a couple of them back in Wave Ocean, but they're definitely more prevalent here in the Princess stages, since we have significantly less abilities with this guy. We have a shield that you saw me use. That shield, what it can do is allow us to walk on water as well as sand. Well, I guess as well as sand. Or sand as well as water was what I was trying to say. We'll be seeing that in the 2nd Princess stage, Tropical Jungle. And Sonic can also do his slide move. He can also do it normally, but we have so many other tools to go fast that we don't really use the slide at all in his regular stages. That's what I'm trying to say. I made it through there. Very nice. But it's very useful here because it allows us to maintain our light dash speed. And since light dashing is the fastest way to move as Sonic and the Princess, it makes sense to carry that speed as much as possible. Moving on into White Acropolis here, definitely make sure if you're in the YouTube comments or just by yourself in your own head, bring out those cat gems, and cat jams, because of all the things the Project 06 changes, one of the things it didn't touch was the music. And White Acropolis in particular has some very banger, almost EDM style tracks. I don't know. I'd maybe hear this in a dance club, but I'm not entirely sure. It'd be one nerdy dance club, that's for sure. But anyway, we are finishing off Sonic's gameplay styles with him riding the snowboard. His turn radius isn't as sensitive, I would say, as it was in Sonic Adventure 2. But these stages are definitely a bit longer. Or I should say the sections with the snowboard are definitely a bit longer. So it's definitely to the level design's benefit. What you're seeing me do right here is something called the Kick Dash. The Kick Dash was an ability added by the Project 06 team to Sonic the Hedgehog here while he's on the snowboard. It allows us to, in 2 kick dashes, I believe, get up to max speed. Now, the snowboard has natural drag, so mashing the X button is the best way to keep top speed here in this section, since, of course, we can't use the gems while we're on the snowboard. Moving on into Section 2 here, you're going to be seeing me do some of our general movement throughout the game, which is the blue gem with 2 spin kicks afterward. The reason for that is just like the slide, the spin kick maintains our momentum. We would use the spin kick if we could, but we can't do that as Sonic and the Princess, so oh well. Moving back over to Tails here, I didn't get to talk about him too much in Wave Ocean because we just completely bypassed his section here. But the main technique with Tails in his flight is, as you can see, his flight is governed by the action gauge. Tails has a special action gauge, which I'll talk about more in Crisis City with Sonic, but his action gauge actually refills while he's in the air, and it refills pretty quickly. It's basically his flight meter, kind of like the flight meter from Sonic Heroes. A cool thing about it, though, is the action gauge fills up by destroying enemies and grabbing their energy cores within them. So you can actually extend Tails' flight. Also, real quickly, I'm going to try to do a rock launch here. Very nice. As we use the blue gem and the slope of that rock to launch straight up to the goal ring there, ending White Acropolis in just over 2 minutes. But yeah, as I was talking about, you're able to extend Tails' flight if you destroy enemies in the air, and those enemies' energy cores refill your action gauge. It's very useful in his last section that we're going to be seeing him in, or we're not going to be seeing him for a while.
Don't be late. You're talking to me?
Very cool cutscene there, made even cooler by the Silver Patch version 1.3's introduction of the cutscene subtitle type. So all of the cutscenes in the game are able to have the font and, I guess, presentation as 06's normal cutscenes, and it definitely makes the cutscenes that Chaos added into the game, well, I should say the Project 06 team as a whole, into the game, really cinematic. Big fan of it, for sure. As we kick dash our way in our final snowboarding section, coming up to probably one of the most iconic spots in the entire game. Let's get the 360! Ho! Just a little bit of swag as we finish off Sonic's snowboarding section, but it doesn't end there as we're able to flip around and go down the rest of the slopes backward here on the swag board. Fun fact here, in Crisis City Section 1, Sonic's snowboard is actually the top speed on the snowboard is about double what it is in White Acropolis, because that section's a lot longer, and it'd be quite a slog if we had the same top speed as we did in the previous stage. Hopping on into
that
section 2
entire
here, you saw me
section.
switch to the blue gem immediately, even though I didn't use it right away. And that's because we need to have Sonic's gems equipped in order for the action gauge to refill. For most characters, again, other than Tails, like I mentioned before, and there's another character we're going to be seeing in a different run that has his action gauge work a little bit differently, is when you land on the ground, there is about, I would say, a 1.5 to 2 second delay that you have before your action gauge starts refilling, and it only refills on the ground or on rails. So we want to make sure we have these gems equipped as much as possible, so we're topped off on our action gauge meter so we can use all those special abilities as much as possible. Seeing a bit of the use of the energy cores here. Those energy cores chase toward us as we did that little skip, leveling up our purple gem to level 2, getting 2 jumps and allowing us to get to that rail, skipping a bit of platforming there. Here we go into Crisis City Section 3. This section's pretty hard, so I'm going to be quiet for it.
This lamppost. Maybe I can swing off of it.
right, very happy to get that on the first try, showing off Supersonic at the end. That is probably the hardest section to get consistent in the entirety of PO6 speedrunning. It is so easy to die there. My goodness. But here we go into the second Mach Speed section of the run, Crisis City. Crisis City's Mach Speed section, especially as Supersonic, isn't anything too noteworthy, so I'm going to take some time here to talk about the different jump dash types of the game. So the jump dash you've been seeing me use is not the one from the original game because the Project 06 team allowed us the ability to select between 3 different types. We have the straight type, which functions just how it does in the original game. We have the curve type, which functions pretty much identically to how it did in the 2006 E3 demo for Sonic 06. And we have Legacy, which works like Sonic Heroes and Shadow the Hedgehog, which is the one I'm using for this speedrun because it allows us to preserve our direction. That property of the Legacy jump dash is super important because in this game we have the ability to do 2 jump dashes in the air. All we have to do is jump dash with Sonic, then we press the X button to do his bounce attack, and that refreshes our ability to do a jump dash or a homing attack if we're close to an enemy. And because of that reason, since the bounce attack sends us straight down, we're able to do this. That is what I like to call a drop dash. Other people call it a bounce excel. It doesn't really matter. But it allows us to maintain our speed and flow super well as we play as Sonic, making the Legacy jump dash pretty freaking cool. You can also do it with the curve jump dash, but it's a little bit harder because the curve jump dash kind of has a more set arc than Legacy does, whereas Legacy sends you literally just plummeting straight down because that's how the bounce attack works. So definitely Legacy is recommended for that, but you could also run Sonic's Story with the curve jump dash if you prefer, I don't know, the sound that it makes or something like that. Doing the river section here as we go through Flame Core, which is my personal favorite stage in the game. I took that hit for RNG, by the way, because there's RNG in this entire run, as you're seeing, of course, as this guy kind of falls in the ground and comes back to the top here. Thankfully, I was able to get him in a nice amount of time. As we finish up section 1, got some cool blue gem movement coming up here. So we just blue gem off that slope, blue gem jump here, and fly ourselves into the volcano for section 2. We're going to be seeing mostly the purple gem here. I actually think we're going to be seeing it entirely as we go ahead and do our purple gem jumps. I use the combat encounters of section 1 to level up our purple gem to section 3. To level 3. And a cool thing about speed shoes, as you saw in Dusty Desert, there are some speed shoes that have been introduced into the stages. It was only in one town mission in Shinno's Story in the original game. So Chaos went ahead, I believe it was Chaos, the lead developer of Project 06, that did it anyway, to kind of sprinkle them throughout a lot of the stages. A cool thing about them is, unlike most other Sonic games, the speed shoes actually unlock your speed limit in the air. Like, you have no air drag. The speed limit that you can go on the ground is the exact same in the air. So it allows you to do some really big jumps. Combine that with the ability to do extra jumps with the purple gem, and you got yourself one high-flying hedgehog. We saw a bit of Knuckles there. I'm going to be talking about him a little bit more. It's kind of hard to talk about him because all we do is glide to the things we need to do. In his section there, we had to hit 5 orbs to open the door and allow Sonic to pass through them. Fun fact, Sonic can actually hit those orbs with the homing attack, so Knuckles doing it is pretty much useless, considering Sonic can move around the stages a lot better than Knuckles can. But Knuckles is still a cool character, and he's really cool combat-wise. Unfortunately, though, this is a speed run. Sonic's stages require very little combat, so we're not going to be seeing most of his abilities, and it's basically just going to be Glide Simulator. But on a more positive note, here we go into Sonic's Radical Train, another one of my favorite stages in the game. This one's just really cool to execute well, so hopefully I'll be able to show that off for you guys as we hop over to the purple gem. We're going to hit this switch and then hit these 3 enemies. It's going to level up our purple gem to level 2, which is going to be really nice as we use the purple gem out of this jump panel to hop on top of the crane. Going to use the blue gem to jump up to here, and then the blue gem one more time. Almost forgot. 2 purple gem jumps there to get to the scale, skip some platforming. I'm going to destroy that yellow guy because he is a leader, which is basically a mechanic where if you destroy kind of the odd one out enemy of an enemy formation, they tend to defeat all of the enemies around them as well, getting us straight to level 3 with the purple gem, and then grabbing one more set of speed shoes here as we fly in and transform into Supersonic right under this enemy's nose, because transforming into Supersonic emits a blast that defeats all enemies around you, which is pretty awesome. Another thing about Supersonic is he does defeat enemies in one hit regardless of HP, which is pretty sweet. But here we go, Radical Train's Mach Speed section, my personal favorite. There's just a lot of cool things that we do, some cool jumps, and then we get this really cool train chase sequence at the end. I don't know what kind of nitrous Eggman has in this train that's able to outrun a Mach Speed light dashing Supersonic, but hey, he's got 300 IQ. I'm sure he came up with something from past encounters. I mean, I would imagine the Doomsday Zone would definitely leave a scar on you. Being defeated and evacuated into the nice vacuum of space. A bit morbid when you think about it. Sonic could have killed him, but that's neither here nor there, of course. This is a kid's game. Anyway, that was Radical Train, and we are going to head into our second and final princess stage, Tropical Jungle. So, Tropical Jungle and Dusty Desert. I need to talk about these stages because both of them are, in my opinion, the best designed stages in the game. They really follow the high path, low path. I would say Tropical Jungle a lot more than Dusty Desert's first section that only Sonic goes through on foot, and even then he's on the princess, which I will talk about later. There's so many different pathways that you can do to go through both of these stages, and it's so fun to explore both of them, even in a speedrunning context. Finding this route was really cool. And it just sucks because we're carrying Princess Elise, so we can't use like 75% of Sonic's move kit to really explore these stages, and it just kind of stinks, man. It just kind of stinks because, as you're gonna see in section 2, we do this really cool movement that actually utilizes 3 different pathways, or I would say a segment of 3 different pathways to get to the end super duper fast. But we're just gonna see a quick cutscene there, and then we are going to see another cool little piece of automation as we run with Sonic and Elise down the log here. Now, I feel like with a person as important as Elise, Sonic is kind of really being careless with all the stuff he's doing, but whatever. I guess it doesn't matter too much. She ends up okay in the end, so it's just fine. Moving on to section 2 here, we're going to slide, hop on the water here, destroy these enemies, then take a mid-route here on this vine, jump back down, the hit doesn't really matter. Pop these enemies on this route, take the light dash here, and then we're going to jump on this log and take the end of the top route to get all the way to the goal ring as fast as possible. Again, super cool, and super cool that we're able to do it at all, even though we are playing as Sonic and the Princess, but it's like, man, how much I would love to blue gem and sky gem and purple gem all around these routes and find just an incredibly cool way to get to the goal ring even faster than that. Alas, we have to play the game as it's given to us.
Silver, we don't have time. Let's get to Elise right away. All right.
Very cool cutscene there. Silver goes to his portion of Kingdom Valley, but we're playing as Sonic here. So what we are doing, section 1 of Kingdom Valley, the most iconic stage from Sonic. I did say it was kind of tied with Crisis City, and when 06 was new, maybe some people who were maybe born watching this video after 06 was released, is Crisis City was widely considered to be the best stage in the game. And Kingdom Valley, while it was like the poster child for 06, especially during the pre-release,
Kingdom Valley's awesome.
it kind of got overshadowed by that a little bit. But in more recent years, people are definitely coming around to Kingdom Valley. They really like the music, the movement, all that stuff. So Silver, we're going to be talking about him a lot more when we get to his campaign eventually. But we are going to be using his S-Rank reward. I failed to mention, but the Rainbow Gem is the S-Rank reward you get for S-Ranking all the stages with Sonic. For Silver, he gets the Sigil of Awakening, which allows him to awaken this ESP mode. It does a lot of stuff, but the main thing you just need to know is that, for Sonic section anyway, it extends our Psychokinesis meter. So it uses about 33% less action gauge, me just running into pillars there, very cool. With Silver, you can also see that Silver has been significantly buffed from his original form in Sonic 06. He's much more sped up. His teleport dash can last the entire length of the action gauge rather than that piddly dash we had in the beginning. And that's actually another upgrade that he gets throughout the game along with his spin jump. But again, we'll talk a lot more about him as we go through there. So what I'm doing right here is I'm holding the Rainbow Gem because that initial tower of enemies I used to get level 3 for the Rainbow Gem here. Gonna do a Badnik bounce, reintroduced into this game. Yes, you can jump on enemies, and it's really nice. I don't know why it wasn't ever not a feature in a Sonic game, but hey, You know, 06 is 06 sometimes, I guess. Thankfully, Project 06 fixes that problem. I'm going to be doing a trick here called Castle Skip. We are going to use that double homing attack, or the jump dash refresh, I should say, to get over to this tower here and avoid the automation, transform into Supersonic, and then use level 3. Level 2 gets us that extra jump height, and then level 3 allows us to use our entire action gauge for the light arrow attack. Or I guess I should say a weaker version of the light arrow attack from the Solaris boss fight. Again, that is only if you have level 3 of Sonic's Rainbow Gem in order to use it. It's really cool and allows us to do that really awesome castle skip. You can actually do that castle skip in a couple different ways. This is just the fastest for this particular section. Using one more light arrow to completely destroy those enemies and see this cool cutscene as Silver protects Sonic from these enemies. Even though Sonic could probably defeat those enemies really easily, especially in a super state, hey, we gotta give Silver the benefit of the doubt on this one. In Kingdom Valley's Mach Speed section, a lot of people's favorite part of the game here. I personally, in Project 06, just to kind of guarantee that I don't get any frame drops and stuff and playing without reflections. But if you played this stage on max settings, it is absolutely gorgeous going through here with the visuals, especially with Supersonic here. I know that this combined with the music is a lot of the reason why people love this stage so much, and just with the better Mach Speed controls of Project 06 definitely allows me personally to appreciate the visuals of this so much more. A cool thing too is that if you didn't know, in the soundtrack, both Crisis City and Kingdom Valley are actual full movements. They aren't just like one song, like each section isn't one song. Each of the sections flow into each other, except for, I believe, Whirlwind. It's whatever plays in Sonic Section 3 of Crisis City. That's a different song, but the other three are all combined into one movement here. At least I'm pretty sure. It's either Whirlwind or it's Tornado. I can't remember which one off the top of my head. Well, we are going into the ultimate stage here. Well, I guess penultimate stage technically in terms of the run. But our final full-length stage here with Sonic, it is his aquatic base. Thankfully, Tails and Knuckles got off their asses and actually decided to join us for this adventure, even though you can't see them too much. If you can catch a glimpse of the amigos actually respawning in, which is a mechanic a lot of video games have, is if you get too far away from your partners, they teleport to you. This teleport animation is actually the same as the one in Shadow the Hedgehog. One of the very few things that game got right. The squash and stretch and the little like warp in animation that the characters do is pretty cool. Very smooth camera pan as it shows the impending danger ahead. Supposed to hop on that ball to get over there, but I'm going to get over there with a combination of the blue gem and the purple gem. Maybe the sky gem if I fumble a jump, but thankfully it doesn't look like that's going to be the case as we change over to Tails. So Tails, I'm going to hop on this magnetic pole here, which is the gimmick of Aquatic Base. You hit those, it destroys a bunch of enemies in a radius around it. I think the whole idea is that they're supposed to like draw in the magnetic balls that you see in some of the rooms, but the magnetic poles, like the one in the room we just saw, don't have any magnetic balls around it, so I guess they just do damage. Kind of a weird thing to install, and also a weird thing to have your enemies spawn around in Eggman's case, but you know what? Again, I'm not a guy with 300 IQ, he is. Right there, what you saw me do is Tails has the ability to do his tail spin in this game, and he can do it just like the rhythm badge in SA1. But you can also break out of your flight. Hit the switch, please. Thank you. You can break out of your flight to do a tail spin in the air and then immediately continue your flight. So what we do there is we break out of the tail spin to defeat that enemy, and he drops a bunch of energy cores to allow us to extend our flight into that room with the switch, which is really cool. Saw me completely obliterate that entire enemy room with those 4 magnetic poles. Again, I don't know why Eggman chose to spawn his enemies there, or I guess his robots there, but whatever. Doing a small automation skip here. Going to use that jump dash refresh to bypass an entire platforming section. Again, very cool stuff you can do with the blue gem as we use the spin dash to go underneath all those lasers. Going to do some level 3 blue gem spin kicks there. Very nice. Another
That's
thing
impressive.
with the blue gem is when you level it up, it actually reduces the amount of action gauge it uses. So it's very nice to have that at level 3. We can use it a lot more. Here we go with Knuckles. We actually get a goofy little slope jump off of that item box to be able to glide all the way to the end here. Reintroduced from Sonic Adventure 2. It was sort of in 06, but it's introduced how it was in Sonic Adventure 2 here in Project 06. Is Knuckles' drill drive, which has a shockwave emit when he lands on the ground, which is really nice. Ooh, I didn't want to do that. All right, nice recovery. Cool. I wanted to home and attack the enemy that was on the ground, but I attacked a flying enemy instead. Whoopsie daisy. Right here, we're going to be seeing our 2 combat gems. The green gem, which is a tornado attack, and the white gem, which is the homing smash, which completely obliterates those multi-target enemies. Very nice. Even though Sonic isn't the combat-focused character, he is the best combat character in the entire game, which I find kind of funny, but the other characters definitely hold their own as well as we finish up Aquatic Base here, with Tails and Knuckles joining us. Like I alluded to earlier, they are actually present here with Sonic at the very end. Unlike the original game, where they were just kind of already in the base, which was kind of weird, but you know, whatever. Again, 06 is 06. But now we have finally made it to the last stage. This is Tails' Wave Ocean. We wanted to include the extra stages in the run for each story, regardless of quality. Even though in Project 06 they are still pretty fun, and I love Tails. He's my favorite character in the series, so it's fun to play through as him, especially now with the new dummy ring bombs that allow us to just carpet bomb enemies and refill our action gauge a bunch, which is really fun. But I can use this time to kind of just talk a little bit about the run. This is a pretty good run. Looks like we're going to be ending somewhere around 26 minutes on the real time, which is always really good. If you enjoyed this run, I hope you can use this as kind of a guide for speed running. And if you want to join, I'll go ahead and link the Sonic P06 speedrunning Discord. It's pretty active. I know I'm active in there a lot. A lot of other people are as well. We host events such as the individual level competition that happened a couple weeks ago. Actually, a couple months ago at this point. It was really fun to do that as everyone competed to try to get the best time in a single level in the game. And there's also just lots of cool stuff. So I definitely recommend, if you are at all interested in speedrunning P06, to join that server. It's the best place to get help. I also have tutorials and will be making tutorials on speedrunning the most current version of Project 06 here, as I'm doing with this commentated speedrun. I really hope it was helpful for somebody, and even if you're not speedrunning the game, I hope that it was entertaining for you as well as we finish up here. Now, I am going to show the credits because I want to acknowledge all the people that made this awesome game as we finish up here, but the actual run there, finishing with a nice, I think, 26-14 on the real time. That was pretty awesome. But even if you don't want to speed run, I really, really hope that this maybe interested you in downloading the game itself. I always have a download link at the bottom of all my videos on how to download Project 06, so definitely make sure to check it out if you have the chance. It's absolutely free. So, very cool stuff. Thank you all so much for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.
Bro, you're 100%ing downloading this. A second. Watch, I do need to finish Sonic Frontiers. I just have to re-download that. Yeah, okay. I can close those. Ooh. Okay. Okay. It's opening. It's opening. It opened. It opened. Drat. I'll do this. Here? No, that's not it. Add this, add that. Shrink. Shrink. Okay. Okay. In the other videos that do a certain button combination, so down. Wait. EA start. Nope. I thought that would do something.
This world was devastated before I was born. A harsh, bleak place where we live in eternal darkness. Life is a struggle, and people live without hope. How did this happen? No one will answer me directly, but they always point to the flames. These flames, they burn away at my world, destroying everything in their path. They come from an eternal life form that we cannot truly defeat, the flames of disaster known as Iblis.
Silver!
Blaze, what's wrong?
He's appeared again!
It's so clean. It's so clean. clean. On the test stage. Test stage. Random text here. Boo, 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 boo. Cameras are still inverted. Where did I go? On the treasure hunt. What?
Let's get going! I've got to hurry and save Elise!
Holy. Nah. Nah. We fixing this.
Let's get going!
No resync. No resync.
I've got to hurry and save Elise!
While jumping, press the A button to perform a homing attack.
I'm dead.
If you jump just as you land on a wall, you can jump off of it.
Whoa! That's a big one! Woo! That was close! Jump! Tails! Go ahead and push the gate switch so he doesn't get out!
Okay, Sonic, I'll be right back.
While jumping, press and hold the A button to fly. Be careful, you'll get tired. Press the X button to lay a dummy ring bomb. Hold the X button to perform a dummy ring snipe.
Tails! Hurry up!
Thanks for waiting, Sonic.
Thank you, Tails. You saved me.
Sonic, Eggman's battleship went that way.
not gonna make it! Let's speed up! Yahoo! What?
No way.
You fail. Here, you can take these instead of the princess.
Elise, hang in there! Yeah! Just made it.
The lag messed me up.
Let's get going!
Need an A.
I've got to hurry and save Elise!
While jumping, press the A button to perform a homing attack. If you jump just as you land on a wall, you can jump off of it.
Wow.
Whoa! That's a big one! Whew! That was close! Jump! Tails! Go ahead and push the gate switch so he doesn't get out!
Okay, Sonic, I'll be right back.
Tails! Hurry up!
Thanks for waiting, Sonic.
Thank you, Tails. You saved me.
Sonic, Eggman's battleship went that way.
Darn! We're not gonna make it! Let's speed up!
No way. Way.
Darn! We're not gonna make it! Let's speed up!
No shot, no shot, no shot, no shot, no shot.
Yahoo! What? Darn!
See what
We're
I
not gonna
mean?
make it! Let's speed up! Darn! We're not gonna make it! Let's speed up! Darn! We're not gonna make it! Let's speed up! Yeah! Yahoo! What? Elise, hang in there!
Go.
Yeah!
Go. 57.
Just made it!
Bruh.
I'll show you my real power. Dr. Eggman, what is he up to this time?
You can do a homing attack by pressing the A button.
It'll be on the so I can knock it down.
I mean to do that.
Dr. Eggman, what is he up to? Dr. Eggman, what is he up to this time?
Bro.
Let's get going! Shadow, don't be late! You're talking
Talking to me?
Watch out! It's gonna blow up! Watch out! It's gonna blow up! Yeah! To move to an adjacent rail, jump while using the left stick. The whole city's on fire!
Alright, here we go.
This lamppost! Maybe I can swing on it.
No way. Boy, no huevo. Boy, no huevo. Boy, no huevo.
This lamppost! Maybe I can swing off of it. It looks like I can jump from there.
Yahoo!
That tornado's carrying a car. Whoa! That tornado's carrying a car. Here comes a billboard. Jump! Yeah!
Like a D. It's like a D.
Too easy. No sweat. Silver, we don't have time. Let's get to Elise right away. All right.
You know, I thought I could do it.
Whoa! Whoa! Let's get going.
Wait. Train level.
Son, shouldn't you save the train before chasing after me?
Eggman! Whoa! I'd better go help. Gotta hurry.
Game.
I better hurry up and cross this scale. Does this conveyor change direction?
After the jump, press the X button to perform a bound attack. If you perform multiple consecutive bounds...
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
Project 06.
Hmm. 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 So, hmm. Hmm. Oh wait, actually, Daft Live or let's rate as Stoner. Yay.
Thanks for rating, Z.